Hello and welcome back to round 9 of the Dragon Racing League. We are here around the wonderful Miami, having our first race here this season. As we can see, we have just started our short qualifying here, and Brian Autry will be our first one out on his flying lap. A very interesting track, as we have just seen in the real world of Formula One, as they had obviously a very interesting race with Lando Norris getting his first ever win in F1. But as we are making our way through the fun little section under the bridge here, a very tricky section, and the pylon that we saw cause a hindrance to Max's race, as he was very unhappy apparently with said pylon. But a purple sector 2 there for Brian Autry. He makes his way into the final hairpin, one of the trickier corners. Seems like it should be super easy and super simplistic, but that wall comes up very quickly as you make your exit on turn 17. He sets the fastest lap with a 1:32.11.8. And I believe Racer X is the next one that should be coming through here. Oh, I might have the game muted, and I do. There we go. A little bit of game volume there. Just what everybody wants. As he comes through for a P2 Hayden, the 128.015. Racer X with a 481. I'm trying to catch. I think that is, yes. So this will be Gunnar, who does set a 127.459, and I believe just behind them, well, I think that's AO, but they are heading on now their fast lap. We have Wolf Okami hopping on in there, fast tapping into P2. I think that's the Aston Martin or Johnny Damon, who should be coming, but has a little bit of an issue, so that will basically negate that time. And they will just go right into the pits. And this should be AO coming. Oh, no, that's Wolf Okami going in. Or Brian Autry. Sorry, no, who is that? Oh, that's an incident there. Not what you want to do. Some good salt. Sorry, that's who we were there. Purple Sector 3 and gets themselves up into P4. The Red Devil taking over at the top. Scorenzi into P2. And this should be, yeah, just Racer X coming through into the pits. I believe that is the other Haas, Wolfsburg Tuner, coming through, and they are going to be starting their flying lap. Oh, yeah, did a 2-lap restart or warm-up. AO coming through. See where he's able to get them. So get them put up into P8. Marsbar is just now on their way out. As well, Wolfsburg Tuner. We'll see as they make their way through the section under the bridge how this ends up making out for them. Very tricky section. Really make or break your lap if you do it wrong. We do have Marsbar and the Johnny Demon now on outlaps. Makes way past turn 13 into 18 and 19. And head towards the start-finish line with a 132.665. Brian Autry back actually on their outlap as well. Just getting the heck out of the way. I think Mars Bar there is starting their fast lap. See there, I believe that was a purple sector 1 that had popped up quickly. Yeah, purple sector 1. So they make their way through sector 2 into this fun, slightly terrible, very awkwardly positioned section, and then back underway for a purple sector 2. So they're currently on pace. Have a fantastic lap. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Let's see what they are able to do. And unfortunately, I think this Alpine might be in the way. No, the Alpine does get up and get going, so they're going to actually stay out of the way. I think that is Brian Autry there, as he is going to be starting his flying lap anyway, so he did want a good exit. Mars Bar does set a P5. And the Johnny Damon, a 129.290. So far, the Red Devil of all but one driver that has set a time is currently holding on to P1 by about just over 0.2 of a second. We can see Qaliy is on their outlap, just heading on through. Gunnar, I believe, is on his fast lap, as is, I think, Racer X as well. They're a little further back. Was that Red Devil? Yeah, Red Devil just starting their flying lap. Verstappen starting his flying lap. I believe this will be Brian Autry coming through. Fortunately, or was able to increase, but not jump anywhere, so still holding on to P2. Gunnar does take over the lead here in the Alfa Romeo. I believe, yeah, this will be Qaliy's start to their flying lap. And I think this is our Red Bull, Wolf Qaliy, coming on through the start-finish line, 129.505. And the McLaren, I think that was Racer X, yes, with a 128.48. And then it does look like we have some good salt. Making their way around the final straightaway. Just for Schultz, good luck, Red Devil. Sad my son is not racing. Yeah, I noticed that Ben is not in today. It looks like he is actually just going to head into pit lane. And then I believe we have a Haas here, and they will be starting their fastest lap. Hopefully everything is all good with Ben B. Schultz. Nothing issues-wise there. I believe, yeah, AO is on his way to starting his fastest lap. We have Sui coming in for their first timed lap. They 1:28.298 pops them up into P7. And with that, having everybody more or less gone through at least once, we'll quickly take a look at our standings. So as you see, Aaron Coulson in the first place. I will always butcher this, but Red Devil's name, but Bilesh. I apologize in advance, because that was probably off horribly, but Red Devil. Ben Schultz in P3, Jack Newhouse P4, who unfortunately that is probably thinking around there. Alex Garcia holding on to P3, Donovan Bailey in P4, Damon Comtois in P5, then Hayden Rogers, Kevin G, Michael Pennant, Marley Smith, Arturo Morales, TJ Hubert, Rami Al-Abid, Christopher Asun. Oh, I know he told me this, but I cannot remember me for the last time. Where were we? Jeremy, Brian Autry, Zach, Alexis, and Mitchell to round us out. On the constructor side, Alfa Romeo holding on to P1, Ferrari in P2, Mercedes in P3, McLaren in P4, Aston Martin P5, AlphaTauri in P6, Alpine in 7, Red Bull in 8, Williams in 9, and Haas in the back in P10. So good chance for Haas to make some points here, as I don't believe, there's none of our Williams drivers are here today. Neither of our Williams drivers here today. I think AO is the only driver, but I think they just finished, so they're currently holding on to P10. Yeah, Chris, I know. I just blanked hard. I know you told me what it was, but it's been a long day. I'm tired. I played Australian rules football yesterday, and my legs are still dying. Mishi, we missed you last week. Yes, I was unfortunately unable to be here last week, but back this week, and I shouldn't miss any of these last 3 races. So today and then the next 2. So we should be here for all of those going forward, which would be good. So now everyone's kind of hopped into the pits, throw on their last set of tires for their last sort of runs here. We'll see where everybody goes, but I appreciate all y'all for coming on back today. I mean, Miami is fantabulous, so we know it will be a good one. Lots of good racing, as we can see. Drivers starting to hurry on out. It looks like the Johnny Damon on his way as the first driver out. All is good with Benjamin, just got a job and wants to relax before the game, but that's fair. That's, yep, very fair. I understand that fully. All right. Well, with the Johnny Damon being the first one out and having quite a gap, we will quickly hop on board and we'll do a nice little rundown. He goes very deep here. Turn 17. As we head on down through the start finish into turn 1, this very hard right-hander, and you gotta be very tricky about how you get on the throttle for turn 2 and 3. As you would then try and drift wide, cutting it back close to the wall to come around turn 4, 5, and 6. As we head into this very fast but sort of not section, and then heavy on the brakes here as you can make your way around to the left-hander of 7. We have 8, very tricky corner there, for 9, and then we do have the very fast after you open the DRS of turn 10. And then head on down. You want to brake right around this bridge as you get into turn 11, which is a 90-degree kind of left, and then you enter the very tricky section where you want to sort of stay close to the wall, then immediately have to go hard left. You want to hit that curve, avoid the sausage on the right, get all the way to the right before coming all the way back left, stick up close to that wall, get as much of the throttle as you can down as fast as you can, and then it's just straight sprint all the way down to turn 17. That's full speed, full bore, and then heavy braking as you get there. Try to not lock up. Unfortunately, a little bit of lock up there, it sounded like. And then immediately you want to go full throttle again for 18 and 19 before you cross the finish line. And that will put the Johnny Damon up into P5. Now, I believe the Red Bull car is going to be our first one. Or the next one to cross the line, so this will be Wolf Kami. It looks like AO, unfortunately, not quite making it. Brian Autry, Dunn, and Wolfsburg Tuner all finished. We'll see where Wolf Kami able to slot themselves in. Up into P11. I believe Ferrari's here. Yes, we have Red Devil and Mars Bar. Red Devil just ahead of Mars Bar here, getting a little bit of a tow. So Red Devil is going to slip on through into P2. Mars Bar having stayed into P5. This will be Keener coming through, able to improve. It does go faster. 126.951, so currently holding on to P1. We do have Scorenzi coming very shortly here. I think this is Sue who's going to cross, stay where he is. Fast Tapping coming through next. He's going to stay where he is. Johnny Damon having done so. Scorenzi coming through, and I believe he would be the last. Oh, no, Some Good Salt just wrapped up into P9. And Scorenzi going to take the top spot by just under 5/100ths of a second there with a 126.914, and that will actually, did Johnny Damon make it through in time? No, he is heading into pit lane, and that will wrap up our qualifying session. As Johnny Damon kind of gets himself into the pits there. All right, and with that, as you can see, Scorenzi in to P1, Gunnar in P2, Red Devil in P3, Fast Tap in P4, Mars Bar in 5, Sue in 6, the Johnny Damon in 7, Hayden Rogers in 8, Some Good Salt, Racer X in 10, Wolf Kami in 11, AO in 12, Brian Autry in 13, and Wolfsburg Tuner in 14. And that will be how we end up starting this guy. So with that, we will quickly throw this to a air quotes commercial break while everyone kind of gets themselves situated for the actual race itself, and we will quickly head on over to some pit stop boys for now. And off we go. I'm almost getting this timing better. Oh, it looks like we have a little bit of an incident further back. I think this is Johnny Damon. Not sure what happened there. He was not ready, but he is late to getting the party started. As it looks like we have a couple of incidents on McLaren. I think that's Verstappen who has a little bit of an issue trying to get his way through. And Hayden already retired. Not sure what happened there. Oh, looks like a tire is no longer attached to that front of the car. And that is going to probably bring out our first safety car. Yep, there it is. So, first safety car. Oh, what is that? That was, I think that's turn 3. So we made it 3 corners here before our first safety car of the day. And yeah, so safety car will be coming out. Apparently, I had to let them know that I would give you the Caster's Curse if you caused a black safety car right away. So unfortunately, the Johnny Damon doing what he can to catch back up now, as he will, thankfully, have all of that. That's not what I want. That's what I wanted. There we go. Scarendi off to a flying start as he was for those first few laps, or first corners, on his way, and there we go. But a little bit of a short day for Hayden. We should have, I believe, it's one more lap before we will hopefully get her going again. And then be all good to go. As we head through a little fun little S section, get a nice sort of view of Miami track here. This corner has caught out a few people over the couple years that we've run this track now. Our little, I believe it's the fake marina as well back there. we should get get notified rather shortly if we are going to be continuing under green right away here. And we'll get to see the fun weaving all over the place. Yes, we are not. Oh, there it is. Safety car will be in this lap. That's Gorenzi is going to back off of the safety car and become more or less our safety car. As he will make his way around turn 17 into turn 18 and get ready to go. And it looks like he is underway as we are back green here. Flying through, does have a half-second lead, but now this will start to get a little hairier, as we can see, getting all nice and bunched up here. It looks like we made it through this section, or this attempt, a little cleaner. So no issues. As the Wolfsburg tuner does get past Sue. And Johnny Damon looking to stick himself up in there as well, as he does actually make his way past. Now just trying to contend with Wolfsburg tuner. As Gorenzi has blasted out to almost a full second lead, but it looks like making his way back up the Red Devil Gunner, trying what he can to get ahead as well, as they are battling wheel to wheel back here. Falling kind of in line, as you almost have to, unfortunately, through this last section here under the bridge. We got a little close with that sausage curve. Did Gunner just behind, but Red Devil is going to do what they need to do. Definitely stay in and try and prevent as much as you can of losing DRS, and he's now out of DRS, so this could be dangerous. Gunner is starting to threaten here. A little bit of a lockup, it looks like, actually, out of Skorenzi. And I think Gunner just behind. And Skorenzi has just gone already over a second and a half. Around a second and a half of a lead now. DRS more than likely going to be active pretty quick here. So the Giant Damon has made his way up now to P10. So we'll take a little look further back here. We have some good salt chasing down his teammate AO. We'll see what happens there, if there's any team orders or what's going to go on. These two battling it out. Brian Autry gets passed by Sue. It looks like Brian having a little bit of an issue. It does lock up pretty solidly going through there. Thought for a second maybe they had a punctured tire, but it looks like we don't. Some good salt does make his way through. And, ooh, that is going to be our next safety car. Racer X unfortunately just kind of loses it coming out of the corner and gets run over by Wolf Okami, I believe that is. And that's, yeah, him without a front wing. So he's going to have to come into the pits. Thankfully, a safety car that will allow him to throw on some hard tires. Not what you want to have happen, but an unfortunate racing incident for Racer X. Brian Autry getting a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Absolutely annoying penalties to be getting. But we did make it a few laps. On to lap 5 now. Looks like a few drivers actually going to be coming into the pits. Oh, Red Devil does get a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is going to be very unfortunate. Let's see what's going on here. As Skorenzi did have the hards on. Going to slap on a set of mediums. It looks like... Whoa, okay, AO coming in hot. But Red Devil able to get ahead and come out back on. It looks like mediums as well. Looks like a big push for medium tires. I'm not sure if the hard's just not holding up here. Lots of medium tires going on. Gunnar deciding to stay out on those hards, as did Verstappen and some good salt. Taking the, but the rest of the field taking that free pit stop. Get in, get out, go home. Fortunately, more than likely, these mediums will not get them to the end, but will probably mean slapping on some softs near the end of the lap, or end of the race. Probably closer to when Gunnar, Verstappen, some good salt come in for new tires as well. So as we can see, Red Devil and Brian Autry both having a time penalty. I believe Brian Autry has a full drive-through, which unfortunately ends up being a 20-second time penalty. And a Red Devil has a 5-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane, which will require them to either pit or take it at the end. Most likely they will have to pit, as we are on lap 7 with 22 to go. And we are back under green as Gunnar gets himself a good jump. Verstappen right behind him, though. As we make our way through the start of lap 8. Looks everything so far kind of clean. We do have, I was just going to say, Scorenzi is able to fight off some, or to pass some good salt, take over in P3 on that slightly faster, definitely newer tire. Now in the hunt for Verstappen behind him. The Johnny Damon does get past AO back there in P9 to take over P9. You can see Scorenzi and Verstappen all chasing down Gunnar. Front three having a good old battle. Red Devil a little bit further back. Him and Brian Autry duking it out. And then we have Sue, and then a fun long train, and it looks like about 5 drivers here. Has the Johnny Damon up in there as well. Aos, Wolfo Kami, and Wolfsburg Tuner. All nice and close. Snuggled up, trying to do what they can. Wolfsburg Tuner, unfortunately, dropping off a little bit off the back there. We have 2 wide up ahead. And this is going to get real hairy as we make our way into the final corner. As the Johnny Damon does get past Brian Autry. As I think that's Brian Autry. He is heading into pit lane to serve the time penalty. But Johnny Damon setting the fastest lap. Hale and Sue start getting real feisty up ahead. And then Verstappen starting to lose starting to fall back of Scorenzi. Scorenzi just on fire. He has made his way past now. Is chasing down Gunnar. His first sector was absolutely flying. Yep, there you go. Sits a purple sector 1 going through there. Having a absolutely massive sector 1 in qualifying as well as so far in this race. You can see he's really trying to chase him down. Using all of that track as they make their way into the ish end point of sector 2 into the bridge section here. It's a little, oh, was that red? Oh, Gunnar was able to hold on to it. I saw him going a little sideways. Then we went to a different camera angle, unfortunately, and it threw me off. As you can see, Hayden has left. I believe DRS still not active for this lap. Does take a look to the inside, decides against it, slips on back behind Gunnar. And there we go. We should get DRS active this lap here. We'll see. As you can see, Frenzy not really needing it, as he is absolutely flying right now. I guess 136.84 as he does make his way past and into P1. He is on a slightly faster tire, so we'll see how that comes into effect. Verstappen now coming under threat of some good salt and Red Devil. Red Devil takes a look to the inside. Ooh, almost a little bit of contact, but they are keep it clean. As we continue our way on down through into turn 7, 8. Passing the DRS detection zone. We'll see if DRS is going to help here, but unfortunately I don't think so, as some good salt does have DRS on Verstappen ahead. Johnny Damon, though, looks like he's trying to make a move on the outside of Marsbar and is able to make it happen before they get their way into turn 11, 12. And that Wolf Okami starting to chase down AO as well, our lone Red Bull on the day. And Scorenzi has now come, holding on to the lead, trying to push that lead. Fortunately, not quite going to get the full gap. I don't know if Gunnar's going to be quite close enough, and nope, unfortunately not. We'll be right, a little bit of a lockup. We'll be right on that rear diffuser as they're going to make their way into the start-finish line. And that will be good. Gunnar hoping to get a little closer. Dropping back again. Just going to be a little too far away for DRS to be helpful at all there. Some good salt, and oh yeah, Red Devil getting really close, but they do make it by as Marsbar actually does get back ahead of the Johnny Damon. Stu sitting there licking his chops, waiting to see who ends up. The one all burned out with their tires and able to kind of chop back, take their position from them as well. Wolf Kami still pushing. As soon as I look away, the Johnny Damon gets ahead. And oh, a nice little dive bomb out of Marsbar. As he almost gets up on the inside of Sue, but Sui not quite able to. But the Red Devil now putting a lot of pressure on Verstappen as they make their way through. Is very close. He's going to want to be about that when they come out of this section here, so he's going to have a chance. Gunnar now completely out of Scorenzi's DRS, so he's not going to get any help. Verstappen, though, he's going to have to be worried. Red Devil is closing in behind him before they even get. And he just kind of moves out of the way, knows he's not going to have much of a chance to be able to fight this. He does get by some good salt, unfortunately out of DRS range. Further back, we do have a couple of movers and shakers as Mars Bars tries to go around the outside of the Johnny Damon. The Johnny Damon holding on for now. And Sui just kind of sitting back, letting it all happen. And as we head on down into turn 1, the Johnny Damon takes the inside once again. Gives him a little bit of space, but elbows are definitely out between these two as we make our way through turn 3, heading down into turn 4. It's a very fast section. These three not really wanting to give it up. Looks like Verstappen's starting to kind of pull away, but they are going to be coming into the DRS zone, so it looks like Verstappen starting to catch back up just a little bit. Not going to quite have enough to get anywhere, to get close enough to try and make a pass there. We'll see what is able to be done as some gaps starting to form in these little groups. Mars Bar, sorry, having a little bit of a slide as he makes his way into the bridge, under the bridge. Verstappen actually not even going to be in DRS, so he's not going to get any of that benefit. And that's just going to allow the Red Devil to take a little stroll down there. You see Johnny Damon now under threat as it looks like. Ooh, Mars Bar took a quick look, not quite able to make that pass, so he does duck back in. They are starting to reel in some good salt. Yep, the Johnny Damon now has gotten within DRS range, so fortunately for Mars Bar, wasn't able to take advantage of having DRS over the Johnny Damon. And the Johnny Damon continuing to kind of start pushing up a little bit of a lead on him. Not much of one. They're quite tight together, but we'll see how this ends up playing out. As unfortunately for him, for Mars Bar, some good salt not quite gotten out of DRS range, or dropped Johnny out of DRS range. So he is starting to try to push. We'll see what's actually going to happen here, because this is going to be very tricky if you're some good salt now. You might actually have two drivers that can go right by you, as Mars Bar seems to get a really good exit. He might even have a shot too. Johnny Damon right on the back here. Let's see what we're going to be able to do. Looks like a little bit of battery dumping coming out of some good salt. Oh, looks like he might have an opportunity. Nope, just not quite enough. A little bit of a lockup as they make their way into turn 17. Might be able to coming into turn 1 as, yep, there he goes diving up on the inside. And he has gotten his way past some good salt, leaving Mars Bar kind of stuck just behind. So now, unfortunately, just out of DRS range, but looks like I'm just back into it. Red Devil chasing down Gooner now. But that penalty might be a little unfortunate later in this race, but we'll see how this all ends up playing out. Whereas Scarenzi, he's just straight up gone. Almost a 5-second lead here. As actually, yeah, Red Devil does get past. A little bit of a bump there, it looks like, but all going forward still. Might be very much under threat as they make their way through. Gooner is about 0.5 of a second back. Not sure this is going to be quite close enough. We'll see as they make their way down. 0.4, 0.3. He's looking to the inside. Is he going to be able to do? No, not quite able to make a move there. Mars Bar does get past actually the Johnny Damon and some good salt. Have flying coming through there. As they look now head to Verstappen. Oh, no, the Johnny Damon has himself a crash. Oh, that is going to unfortunately leave him with no wheels, or no left front wheel there. And some cars getting very lucky, able to sneak into the pits now. Verstappen actually is able to, throw on a second set of mediums. Brian Autry unfortunately getting himself another drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. But a few cars able to sneak in and get changes done. This could be beneficial. They're going to really have to kind of hope they can get moving without getting a time penalty here. And they might actually be able to take a good shot at taking over the lead. See Scarenzi, more than likely with that 5-second lead probably coming into the pit lane. We'll take a look ahead and see what's going to happen. No, Gunnar is probably is most likely going to take this, as is some good Salt. Verstappen having just done his pit. He's now on those mediums, but we'll see what Scarenzi ends up doing. I'm pretty certain they're going to be flying to the pit lane. And this will be our third safety car, lap 15. Yeah, right in the pit lane goes Scarenzi. He was able to get it down. The Red Devil going to come in. I don't think this will actually count, unfortunately, though. For the 5-second time penalty. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see if this will count. Will stop but not touch the car? Yep, okay. So he is going to serve that 5-second time penalty. This could work out okay. Unfortunately for his teammate, Marspark gets a little bit of an issue with that. So where a Red Devil is able to get himself back out. It looks like he is actually going to hold on to P3. Verstappen just able to get past him. Some good Salt gets out. So unfortunately for Red Devil, that 5-second time penalty did cost them the position there, and now they are going to be sitting it down in P4 once we get this thing all restarted. Very good timing for Verstappen when that safety car came out and they were able to slip on in. We are back at the green. Sorry, my bad. I did not even realize that. I didn't even see the notification, but we are good to go. Scarenzi doing what he can now to try and take as much of a lead. Gunnar in P2, Verstappen in P3. Looks like AO able to get past. Sue has a little bit of a spin, but is able to continue. No issues there. I believe Brian Autry, unfortunately, he's having a day. But Scarenzi up to a grand old start. AO does get past or is pushing to get past Verstappen, or not Verstappen, sorry. Marsbar, as he is able to get ahead of Marsbar there, and on our way in to turn 11-12 here. And DRS will not be active this lap, so this is where you want to really push to create as much of a gap as you can. Gunnar trying to hold on this time. Red Devil has gotten back up into P3 with no DRS. This could get a little tricky. Scorenzi does lose a position. Interesting as there is no DRS, but Gunnar does have his hop up into P1. AO and Marsbar. AO is able to hold on to the position. Marsbar definitely got his elbows out now, though. They are looking to fight their way back. He does take the inside as we head into turn 1. Looks like Marsbar is going to have the inside. Is AO able to go around the outside, fighting back. Marsbar now back on the inside. AO not giving this one up at all. He is still pushing as best he can around the outside. They come in. Still side by side, just slips behind. Unfortunately, is going to have to cede the position for now. Scorenzi, he is pushing for Gunnar ahead. Red Devil just slipping back into DRS range. He's just on that cusp. He's definitely going to want to have that. As the two ahead of him, definitely fighting it out. Wolf will come. Some good salt does get a 3-second time penalty, so unfortunately for him, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Sue actually, I think he dropped all the way back down, but Qaliy gets himself ahead of AO as they make their way through here. Scorenzi right up on the back of Gunnar as we make our way through. Red Devil also being chased down by Verstappen. Nice and close. Scorenzi does set the fastest lap going into level 129s. I believe DRS will be started. Yep, there it is. DRS enabled for this lap. So Scorenzi definitely going to be looking to try and make a move. And Red Devil going to be having to do what he can to sort of fight off Verstappen just behind as well. The Wolf of Qaliy. He's trying to chase down Marsbar. Unfortunately, looks like he's just dropped out. AO is now out. Oh, and a BSC. Or what? Not 100% sure why VSC. Good timing, though, for Gunnar, as that actually is going to allow him to not have to worry about DRS as they make their way through the very long back straight. So he will be able to kind of fight off for another lap. Oh, and we are green again. Okay, DRS is enabled and off we go. There was no heads up on that. So back we are again with green, and Scorenzi a little further back, but Red Devil now back up into that kind of space he wants to, and he's dropped Verstappen that 1 second that he needed. Wilsford Tuner heading now into pits as he's getting a new front wing. Oh, that might have been what caused it, maybe? Oh, and some good salt has left the session, so we do have AI. Okay, so AI is driving in some good salt's position. Wolfsburg Tuner on his way out of pit lane on some soft tires. Hope to push those to the end. Let's see, DRS is active, so this is going to be a tough time for Gunnar to be able to fight back to try and prevent getting overtaken here. I think this is going to allow... Yeah, there's Scorenzi making his way past. Is on the inside. No issues there. A little bit of a attempted to switch back out of Gunnar as he actually is able to kind of fight it off. These two now coming into the start-finish line. Scorenzi still up ahead. Gunnar a little drop back. Wolfokami does get passed by Ao a little bit further back. These two are dueling it out as well. And Marsbar now trying to chase down some good salt. Fortunately for some good salt, the AI is usually not the quickest. Looks like that is going to ring true here. And the Red Devil trying to chase down Gunnar now within that DRS range, but Gunnar also having DRS on Scorenzi for now. Oh, Marsbar goes wide and then runs, clips the AI, and that is going to be putting him in a very unfortunate position. As Ao and Wolfokami do get past. Like Sue going to as well. Finally gets a little bit of space, and unfortunately for him, hard to say. It looked like he kind of came back in, and some good salt really had nowhere to go, and that kind of just caused that incident. We are continuing. Red Devil, unfortunately, now out of DRS range altogether. Gunnar is not. Wolfokami does get past. Ao does jump back ahead as he has a better line coming out of turn 17. As they make their way into the front stretch. Wolfokami with DRS now. Not quite able to close that gap, though. Scorenzi has now opened back up that gap to over a second. Red Devil actually starting to really close in. So, looks like Marsbar has come into the pits as well. Red Devil really hunting Gunnar down here. Oh, Red Devil gets a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately for him. Now it's just going to be about trying to create as much of a gap between him and Verstappen as he can. Just try and create a little bit of a buffer so he doesn't have to worry about losing the podium position. And he's got about 7 laps to do it, so he's going to really have to get up on his horse there. Wolfokami now, he's going to be able to reel him in. It's quite close enough. Not quite. Does try to get on the inside. Is going to have DRS and they make their way through to the front straight. He's got a not very good exit out of turn 17 into turn 18 there, but might have a shot. So he gets up on the outside. Not quite able to, but does get an inside line right away here. Ooh, it's a little squirrely. They don't quite touch, but a little bit of a defensive drive for Ao there as he was just able to avoid it, but Sue is now also right up on in there. Bummer that I crashed. Yeah, the Johnny Damon, unfortunately. That was, you're absolutely flying. I didn't see if you made contact with another car, but I did see, yeah, you saw the aftermath and missing a front tire. It's a little harder there. Looks like we do have a caution further back. Is that Wolfsburg Tuner? Unfortunately, Wolfsburg Tuner is going to be out. I don't think that'll be a safety car because I think we've had too many. And that will be the end for Wolfsburg Tuner. So now really trying to chase down Wolfokami. As of this point, everyone who does finish will get points today. looks like Alpha Tower is going to have a good one. Haas going to get a great points haul here with Scorenzi, as that will help them hop over Williams, who had neither of their drivers here today. Scorenzi having just an absolutely fantastic drive by himself. Red Devil, though, he is not quite making any time up. It's these two back to dueling it out. And Sui just sitting behind, licking his chops as one of these two or both of them end up doing something, sending them both around possibly. He makes a dive up on the inside, is going to overtake Wolf Okami. What a fantastic little jump in there, but he does get overtaken once again as Wolf Okami slips on back in on the inside. This little duel that's going on is getting pretty tight. A little scary, but we're still going forward. That's all you need. Marsbar did set the fastest lap, holding on to those soft tires, and so he actually will gain the extra point. It's going to be helpful for Ferrari, who I believe are still chasing people down. They're holding on to P2. It's close, but not quite. Oh no, Red Devil and Verstappen have a collision. Oh, that is not good. It will clear Red Devil's 3-second time penalty, but unfortunately, I think, yeah, that's going to be, he's going to retire from the session as he does get another one. And Wolf Okami has a crash too going into the, oh no, losing everybody. Unfortunately, I didn't see what caused it, but we do lose two drivers very quickly as Ao now suddenly into P4 and Sue also into P3. Ao has a little bit of an adventure there, and unfortunately, there's a good chunk of time. As we do now lose a lot right away, very quickly. So unfortunately, that ends with, what's that, 6 of our 14 drivers. And Brian Autry now just has to finish, and he's going to score some solid points for Alpine. And the lone Alpine driver out there today. Just take your time, buddy. You're gonna make it. Wolf Okami has now left. Marsbar holding on to the fastest lap on those soft tires. Still some good salts. AI still cruising around. Verstappen trying to reel in Ao now. Ooh, gets right up on that back gearbox, and that's gonna actually sink. Ao goes all the way over that, and Verstappen trying to dive bomb him a little bit. Wouldn't be my favoriteest thing to have had to have happen right on that corner, especially with the long straightaway coming up. But now we have Ao coming into the pits. Not sure. Going on to yeah, it looks like probably going to go on to some soft tires and see if we can steal a point. Oh, no, needs a new front wing as well, but yes, soft tires as well. Well, he's going to see if he can at least try and steal a point here. We have Brian Autry coming around back there. So let's check this out, see if Ao is going to be able to. It's quite a fast lap out of Marsbar. We will see what he's able to do. As he makes his way through the back section of Sector 2. Before heading down into turn 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's like 9 corners in this section. Very, very tight corners as well. And not the fastest of areas to drive through. see what's going to happen. So I'm really curious if he's going to be able to grab this. I braked into... Oh, I braked too late. Yeah, that section you and AO were fighting pretty good, and yeah, it looked like very unfortunate, but so who's next one? I'm also curious what happened to Red Devil and Fast Stappen. That was like a pretty solid collision. As AO does make his way through into turn 7 here. See how his first sector is. Does go 4/10 faster on his first sector. Doesn't get a purple sector 1, so he's going to have to get a little quicker through sector 2 here. Didn't virtually get a sector 3 that is purple, but pushing still. Let's see if they're able to snag one. Fortunately, not quite able to have the Haas there, as he got blue flags as Brian just kind of gets out of the way. Let's Scorenzi go flying on through as he's about to make his way through to the final lap here of our Miami Grand Prix. This wonderful Mother's Day. As him final time through turn 7 and 8. Scorenzi, who's been basically in control of this race from the get-go. Lasting through a couple of safety car restarts. Able to overtake on the last one. No issues. And creating a massive lead as we're looking at about a 20, just under 23 seconds here. One of the rare times in F1 you will see a Haas at the top of the leaderboard. It wasn't even caused by rain. And here he comes around the final corners. Oh, Cooner unfortunately getting a 3-second time penalty. Not ideal, but will not affect the outcome of this one. As here he comes and crossing the finish line. Scorenzi in P1 will take the win here at Miami. Cooner now on his way through the back straight. Ryan Autry getting a time penalty for unserved penalty as he wraps up as well. As here we go with Cooner, and that will take home P2, and he does steal the fastest lap with a 1:28.389. Fast Stappen coming through as well is going to finish in P3. Sui coming through into P4. Marsbar does make his way past some good salt. Up into P5. Right on the last final couple corners there. And he will take P5, Some Good Salt in P6, and then AO just about to finish it up. And that will wrap us all out. Driver of the day going to Qaliy. Absolutely fantastic job out of everyone. And a massive congratulations to Scorenzi, and as well as Gunnar and Verstappen as they take our podium there today. A great draft from Scorenzi. Yeah, like I said, zero concerns. He was pretty far ahead for most of the race. Just had to keep it clean, and yeah, it was good. But congratulations to our top 3 and everybody who did finish this one up today. But yeah, so as we can see here, Scorenzi will take P1, Gunnar in P2, Verstappen in P3, Sue in P4, Marsbar in 5, Some Good Salt in 6, AO in 7, Brian Autry in 8, and the Red Devil, sorry, Brian and Autry in 8 being the final ones of our finishing drivers. Red Devil, Wolf Kami, Wolfsburg Tuner, the Johnny Damon Racer, X, and Ronan Hayden, all unfortunately DNFing. And fortunately for Hayden, it was very early on. But congratulations to our top group. As we move into our last couple of races here. So as you can see, we do have Coda coming up next weekend. And then we'll cap it all off with our final race in Brazil. So those will be our next couple of weeks. So Coda on the 19th and Brazil on the 26th. We do appreciate everyone for coming on by. Hopefully you had yourselves a good time. We will hopefully see you around for the next one. But that will be it from all of us at Dragon Racing League. Thank you for coming on by. Salt GG's to you as well. Have yourselves a great night, afternoon, morning, whatever it is for you. And we will hopefully catch you on the next one.